Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on Shamblecraft Season 2. The last episode, we went and built up this nice little greenhouse here for selling some custom trees, and since then, we've had no orders, which is fine, means I have less work to do. But today, we are heading back home from the shopping district, and we are going to be doing a little bit more work terraforming some rooms out of the base. Alright, so if we come down here into our base from our portal, you can see that we have, this is grown. I know this is mine, and most of the stone in here is mine because we've run out of stone storage, but, I did not put all of this stuff in here that wasn't stone. You know what? Before we get into what we're going to get into today, we're going to start this. So I'm going to go take care of this monstrosity, and then I will be right back. Alright, so with that now mostly sorted out, we only really have the stone here to take care of, and well, that requires a bulk storage, which is not built yet. We have a space for it. It's just still in the planning phase. Right over here, which hopefully this should be enough. If not, we can always expand it down so it reaches more of the floors. But today we are going to be working behind this fancy door right here that Space built for us. So, press the open command. We can see that we have this really big room here. It connects over to Vin's weird thing here that spawns squid, and also goes up to this area up here, I suppose. It's right under the lake. But we are going to be working back here, and we are going to be moving our enchanting setup from down here over by our lovely parrot here, Squish. And we are going to be moving it into here. Now what I'm thinking for this is we'll probably go for kind of an overgrown geode look, or more accurately an overgrown geode with kind of some sort of ruins in the middle. So I think I'm going to go get a few things marked out for in here, and then I will be right back. Alright, and there we go. I think I've gotten just about everything major marked out. So we now have stuff marked out here for the paths leading to all three of the entrances and exits. We have the warped wart here representing the ruins. So this big one in the center is going to be for our enchanting setup. And obviously we're going to have a few small scattered ones around here. But the interesting thing is for the regular nether wart blocks, those are detailing out the locations of where I want to put some tank walls, because I'm thinking we're going to put a few axolotls, fish, and probably some frogs in here as well. And I think that that will look really nice. We do have the one small axolotl tank all the way out here in the entrance, which looks great, but this would allow us to have one that's just not in the floor that we're walking over, as well as a place to store all of our tropical fish that we have, which are in, which chest is it? I think it, yeah. Oh, apparently we've got a bunch of cod, but it'll give us a place to store those. And until we get frogs, I think one of these is going to remain empty, so we can put a few of those in here to fit with the rest of the theme of the animals in here. I do really love building exhibits. At some point we need to work with the others to get this exhibit here built up, which is supposed to be for a glow squid, which that's going to be a fun one to get, but I clearly have a lot of work to do. This right here is a rough dig out of one of the enclosures, and as you can see, these aren't going to be necessarily small. It's going to be nice to be able to walk up to here and be able to see them and see in, but some of these areas we don't have much room. For example, right here, pretty much anywhere you see amethyst, we don't have much room to expand in that direction. So I'm going to go get a few of these built up, and then I will be right back. And there we go. This is one small little tank that I think gives a good example of what we're going to be going for in here, where we just have this mix of the moss, the amethyst, and the unmossy and mossy cobblestone all mixed together here. Got a little bit of clay to add that lush cave kind of feel to this. And I'm thinking that this is going to be a fish tank. We're going to have the water level go up to here. We'll need to put something in the middle here to keep the fish in. But we'll have a waterfall going off into this area. Let's actually put a cobblestone slab there, which is going to house either frogs or axolotls. Now I'm thinking we'll have a small little ruins in here. Maybe some sort of small kind of stone shrine, maybe? That might be a good idea. It's just to have a small one of those sitting around over here. But other than that, I am quite happy with this. It still obviously needs all of the plants, but we can't exactly do that until the water's in. But I think with at least one of these tanks in, I think it's probably a good idea that we actually get our enchanting setup moved, because that is the second biggest part of this entire room, and, well, also its entire purpose. So, towards that end, I have a bunch of mossy stone bricks and stone bricks here for us to use. And you know what? It'd probably help if we actually had the enchanting table, maybe, so we can plan this thing out. So, enchanting table in hand, what I think we're going to do is we have this roughly circular area here. We're going to have block there, have the enchanting table there in the middle. And then we will have, actually I take that back. Let's actually sink this into the floor. We have the room to do so. So enchanting table there on the floor. I can probably, let's use diorite to mark out where the bookshelves need to go, because we aren't going to see this anyway. So bookshelves around there in a mix of regular and mossy bricks. And then we'll kind of cover the bookshelves up with a mix of moss and the stone bricks and cobble. Let's see, I don't think that looks too bad. Once we get a few stairs and slabs around this place, I think that that should work for the effect quite nicely. Might put in a few... Oh, I kind of just made this a circle. So, you know what we could do? What if we put walls on a few of these blocks? Like, this could be a cobblestone wall here. Actually, mossy cobblestone wall. Might look even better because it's going to be on the moss. Yeah. Oh, and then we can kind of have this go up like it's some sort of like mini pagoda that's just crumbled and fallen to bits. Not pagoda, gazebo kind of thing. Yeah, I like that. But I think we kind of need to work in the amethyst, because this is supposed to be some sort of overgrown amethyst shrine thing, I suppose, because of all of the amethyst we have. So let's kind of work that in a little bit more. This is definitely going to require quite a bit of work on the floor. Alright, so I think I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I might try and get the floor in, because that looks like it's going to be the most important part to get. And also move in the rest of this enchanting setup. So I'm going to go get that set up, and then I will be right back. Alright, so it has been a little bit, and we have pretty much every bit of the area here done. We are still missing the ceiling, but I haven't really wanted to touch that because of the water, and yeah, I'm gonna have to take out all of the brown concrete powder before I do that. However, the vast majority of the area is done, and now all we have left to do is to put in the animals and the plants. Now out here we're gonna have a few little cycads, I think. We might put in one... Actually, I don't think we have any room to put in a small tree. But a couple of these exhibits, we should have the space to do so. But we are going to have a few little plants sticking around. I think we'll probably put in a spore blossom somewhere in here, probably about there. We'll just have to change that when that gets to be putting in the roof. And I think we'll probably mix in a few of these vines around, as well as some glow lichen for a little bit of light and texture. And I also got some of these big amethyst crystals, which we can stick around here for a little bit of the amethyst detail, because this is supposed to be a bit of a geode. But we don't want too many. I think that is a good amount of them, at least for that area. Now we also have some drip leaf here we can have growing. I grabbed some small ones that we can have stick out of the water or just in it, which I think should look nice. I have some seagrass to put around in here. And unfortunately, I don't have any sea pickles. I looked, apparently we don't have any at all, so I'm going to have to go out and find some, but for now, we will make do without them. But with just a little bit of stuff put in, I think that looks pretty good. Might have to mix in a piece of kelp or two. Actually, let's go grab one. Ooh, there we go. That looks kind of nice, just having a little bit of that mixed in here. But other than that, I think that at least this section here is ready for the animals that are going to be put in here. Now, I have a few ideas for what we're going to put around here. I'm thinking we're going to do some tropical fish in this tank here, which then flows into this tank, which is going to house our axolotls, which I think should work because this tank is mostly water. This little one up here that I actually need to figure out how I'm getting into is going to house the pufferfish that we have. I may have to go get a few more because we just have the one. And I also want to grab a few corals while I'm over at the reef, which should be nice. Just need a few corals, some sea pickles, and some more pufferfish. And then this tank here flows down into this one, which will house our frogs once we get a few. I'm going to need to get some of the mangrove papules in there. Probably some short mangrove trees. That's kind of like a custom tree, maybe? That might look nice. But moving around, we have this tank, which, as you can see, does not have very much water in it. That's because I think this one is going to be a panda and parrot tank, and apparently I missed a spot. So we will have to go grab some parrots and some pandas to put in there. That's going to be a lot of fun. The nearest jungle is quite a ways away. So any pandas we get, we're going to have to bring down the Sparkle Death Road. And since we can't leash boats in this version, it's going to be a lot harder than I'm used to. I guess we'll just have to lure it with some bamboo, which we'll probably put a few bits of that in here as well. But this last tank, which has nothing in it right now, because I kind of ran out of glass, is going to be for cod and salmon. Now, we do kind of have to get this one separated out before we put anything in. Or at least we have to put the fish in before we put the glass in, and we have to get the glass pretty much in before we get the water in. But I think that that is a pretty good plan that we have. But since that one is done, let's get a couple of our axolotl friends in there. I got about 9 of these while exploring a lush cave, trying to get more small drip leaf. And I think having a bunch of these guys swimming around in here will be quite nice. Because we got this view right here where we can look at them underwater. Them is so cute. We can look at them over here. And we can watch them over here, both in and out of the water. Now they should not be able to get over that glass pane. I guess we can easily test that. So now if they're able to climb the waterfall, they should be... Actually, they should just be attracted. Okay, so this is not going to work for tropical fish. We may have to revise this plan. or at least revise the structure of the tank, which I should have 3 glass panes to add a bit more space to prevent them from jumping over. Okay, so with our last 3 glass panes, in theory we can just get over this easily. At least we can. They should not be able to. Can we? Oh no, they'll be able to get in here. Okay, I guess we have to put in all of our tropical fish at the same time. Or find another way in here. Which, you know what? We can just do that. Now, since they can't see it, they should ignore it? Hopefully. They're getting stuck on some of the blocks. They aren't trying to get into the tropical fish tank, which is good. So, I'm gonna go get a few more of these tanks, at least get the glass in for these last couple tanks, and probably get a few more of our animals in, and then I will be right back. And there we go. We now have the entire room minus the ceiling complete. We've got all of our animals in. We might still get a few more fish. I did end up going and finding some corals and sea pickles, and it amuses me that tropical fish apparently can trigger the drip leaf, and I'm quite happy with this. Now I still need to add a little bit more water to the cod and salmon tank, but for now I think this will do quite nicely. I think the kelp is actually quite a nice height right here, but I do want to get this filled up all the way. And we managed to get some pandas brought out here. We have a pair of them in here that we've managed to breed. And we also have 3 parrots. Now, those had the misfortune of, we had a full set, and unfortunately 2 of them died in the process of trying to get the pandas because of a skeleton. But those are going to be kind of easy to go get more of anyway. But all in all, I am really happy with how this has turned out. I did have to completely block off the tropical fish exhibit because the yellow fish we had in here did end up becoming a casualty of axolotls jumping over the wall somehow. And of course, we don't have any frogs because, well, they're not in the game yet. But I am really glad at how this has turned out. Still needs a little work on the paths leading out of it, but those are another project. And yeah, I think this place is more or less done. And so with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye!